Right, what's up, Dragon Brood? We're going to be playing some Orzhov today because I want to take a look at Pursuit again alongside the Phantom Train because that worked out really well. But this time, we're going to play some Legends that we didn't play last time to see if they really boost up this deck. Starting at the top, we have to have our removal, so there are some Dusk Rose Reliquary because we're going to make a lot of tokens in this deck, hopefully. We do have Eaten Alive as a removal spell. And honestly, this is actually not too bad because it can help trigger some other things on top of it, and you can just cast it without actually having to exile a thing if you need to. We do have Fanatical Offering that can get us some extra cards and produce a map. We have Obsessive Pursuit. If you don't know what this is, when it enters and at the beginning of your upkeep, you get to lose a life, make a clue token. Then when you attack, you put a +1/+1 counter on all, or actually on target creature for the number of items you have sacrificed that turn, and then that creature also gets lifelink, which is pretty important. We do have some Strategic Betrayal because I wanted a few extra things to deal with graveyard stuff, and I didn't want things that were going to be completely dead in different matchups, so this kind of checks a couple boxes. We do have Tolls of War, which this is super nice because it makes you a clue token, but every time you sacrifice a permanent on your turn, once a turn, but each turn you do it, you'll actually get to make a 1/1 ally, which is super easy to sacrifice stuff in this deck. We do have Lord Skitter, which makes us more things we could sacrifice, but also another way that we could remove stuff from graveyards. And then we have Comball, Profiteering Mare. Now, this one's actually pretty sweet because if your opponents get tokens, you also get tokens. But every time you make a token, your opponent loses a life and you gain a life. So it's another way to kind of speed up the clock while giving you a quality 2/4 blocker. We also have Teysa, Opulent Oligarch. So if you attack your opponent and they take any damage, then you actually get to make a 1/1, which is actually super sweet. But on top of that, you can also just sacrifice. Actually, let me correct that. You get a clue, you collect a clue, you get a 1/1. There's a couple of things going on here with each of these cards. But yeah, you can see how these all fit together so far. We also have some Phantom Train because, well, if you can sacrifice all those things, then with Trample, you're probably just going to win. Combine this alongside the Obsessive Pursuit. If you sacrifice 3-4 things, you go to attack, you also get those other bonuses. So sometimes you can get close to one-shotting your opponent with the Phantom Train. We're also playing Phoenix Fleet Airships. This gives us another way to win. It also technically kind of creates a way for your 1/1s to become 4/4 blockers of sorts. So it does actually help out both offensively and defensively. And then some of our cleanup cards, if you will, we're playing 1 Expel the Interlopers because we can just choose creatures 2 or greater to destroy all those things and keep our little 1/1s, which could be kind of cool. Or if they're just playing bigger creatures, say they have like a, I don't know, Ouroboros, then you go ahead and call 3+, get rid of all the things, and then you keep all your like legends and your little 1/1s. But we also have Liliana, Dreadhorde General, because if we're sacrificing stuff, we could get to draw cards potentially. But also just keeping our opponents in check, giving us more tokens that we could sacrifice. It does a few different things for the deck. So yeah, this one should just be a lot of fun in general, but y'all know the drill. If you want to support the channel and save yourself some money, check out our friends over at Tales of Venture. It's TOAMagic.com. You can use my code. It's Dragon. It's DRAGN. And then it'll save you 5% on whatever you buy. And it's worth it right now after you've already bought Christmas presents for everybody else. But all right, let's go hop into these games and see how many tokens we can make. I do have to say, what I enjoy about Tolls of War and Pursuit is that they kind of fuel each other. Like, you know, you can crack the clue, get a 1/1, and they kind of keep giving you stuff to work together with. Opponent goes first. Yeah, I guess we'll keep this. Obviously, we need to draw something good to go with these, but we can at least start getting stuff with the Pursuit, which could be nice. Oh, here comes a Duress. We did not get Duress. Ah, it was the second main phase Duress. Gosh dang it. Well, there goes our Obsessive Pursuit. I mean, opponent, just take that. You could deal with my other stuff. I don't know, maybe. You may not be able to deal with artifacts. Those might be scary. I don't know. You're not afraid of Teysa. You're playing black. So it's either one of the artifacts or the Pursuit, I'd have to imagine. But if they're playing mono black aggro, they might want me to have the Pursuit and just lose some extra life. Ooh, okay. They got rid of the airship. Not what I thought they were going to choose. That's really interesting. I mean, they might also just play like Deep Cavern Bat here and get rid of something. No. Wow. We don't have the color mana that we need, though. I think we just play Obsessive Pursuit and gamble here. Man, if we could have played Tolls of War, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered. They have red mana, so they might be able to get rid of artifacts. Oh. Usually when you play that, you're setting up some type of reanimator shenanigans, but that appears to not be the case here. Huh. Alright, let's go here. And then I don't even think we Teysa here. I think we play a train, sack a clue, make a 1/1, and then start trying to set up to move the game forward the next turn. Though, it depends on what they do. If they leave mana up, we may not want to get a train killed because they haven't played any removal spells yet. But they also know we have the Teysa. So there's anytime somebody duresses you, you get in this weird game, almost like poker-like of, I now know that they know a couple of cards in my hand. So it's like, they know I'm playing with that information as well of their knowledge. So it gets kind of weird. So sometimes you end up just having to bait out certain cards. So it's like, if I just assume Teysa's going to eat a bullet, oh, okay. I don't ever see anybody play that, but they're going to get rid of Teysa? Great. Teysa's like secondary playing. But I think this is one of the interesting things. When you play cards or decks that are unfamiliar to people, and I've gotten caught the same way, you're kind of having to guess what cards are important to what the opponent's doing if you've never seen it before. So in this case, you don't see Teysa that often. Legends tend to be kind of scary, so I sort of get why the opponent's calling Teysa here. They're probably taking their time to go through our deck and just try to figure out what the whole sequence of things is that's happening. Yeah, we only had one other Teysa, so not a lot of value there for them. Yeah, that's not doing a whole lot here. So let's go ahead and crack this. We'll go get a swamp. Yeah, sacking Tolls of War does also trigger that. Or Fable Passage triggers Tolls of War, which is kind of fun. And then we'll go ahead and just do this. And no benefit to cracking anything here yet, so let's just end the turn. Yeah, now they're putting 2 and 2 together like, wait, so that makes a token, and then that makes a thing, and then that lets you sacrifice a thing. It's like a really ugly Rube Goldberg machine. Gonna kill our token. I mean, they have removal spells. It's just, what are they getting to target with them, you know? The good news is, if they have a board sweeper, it doesn't really do anything. You might get to kill a couple of 1/1s or something. But I have seen a few decks starting to go heavier on the discard stuff, which I find very interesting. I mentioned this in a previous video where we hadn't really seen discard decks in a while, and it's weird. And maybe it's just a bunch of new players, because discard themes are, they're getting rid of a Lord Skitter, so they must be doing Reanimator stuff. Discard decks are one of the themes that newer players tend to gravitate toward, which I get, because I mean, we all did it at some point in the past, you know? All right, what are you going to do with 1 mana open? That's the question I have. Like, does that 1 mana even matter here? Because I can't imagine that it does, right? So we could play a second train, sack like 2 things, attack with train if we wanted to. I just don't even know how valuable or important that is. Opponent's at 20, so we can make train into a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The one that is summoning sick is 10. That's 14, and then we would add 4, 5, 6. I mean, I'm willing to try. You got 1 black mana. Sure. Do you have anything to respond with? It appears to be no. All right, cool. We're just going to go for it then. This is going to be sick. I don't even know. Do we even need all of it? I don't think we do, because that's 9. Then it goes to 18, 19. Yeah, I guess we have to. All right, fine. All right, well. Put all the counters there. Oh, we're still 1 short. Oh, no. I should have sacked the other train. I wasn't thinking about it. My math was bad. I needed to sack 1 more thing. That's unfortunate. Oh, well. Such is life. The opponent could leave up 2 removal here now. Though, I guess it doesn't matter, because they would need removal and a way to tap or get rid of our land. Yeah, we're probably okay. Yeah, we just have value all over the place here. Because here's the thing, right? We have extra things we could sacrifice even. So we could just make this live, getting rid of this. Actually, yeah, let's just do that. Then that makes another one that we could get rid of the 1. The Summoning Sick one. And then we make this live, and then you have to have some combination of at least 3 removal. Which, if you have it, congrats. This is what I get for doing bad math. Though I do appreciate that if you look at Obsessive Pursuit, it gives you a little number in the lower left, so you kind of know how many things you've sacrificed for the turn. So it's already at 2. And when we attack, we're just going to put the counters on either of the other creatures, or on the token, really. So obviously, you're going to use Demolition Field to try... Oh, well, if you don't use a Demolition Field, you're just dead. Alright, well, I guess that's it. Maybe they were looking to see if we're going to put the counters on the other thing, but yeah, alright. I mean, that was pretty good. Even with them, like, stripping our hand and making a play mistake, we were still able to win. And there's also a world where, had they been doing heavy discard, I think they were doing more reanimation stuff, but if they were doing heavy discard, we could have just been using the clues to just draw cards and keep our hand loaded too. Okay, we get to go first. Probably would have liked to have had 1 less land in this hand to have it be, I wouldn't call it perfect, but more higher functioning, but this isn't bad. We're here for this. Also, you got to be careful on your pursuits. Unless you have a way to get an attacker in, you don't always want 2 of those out there, because losing 2 life a turn is rough. Now, with them playing black and white, I'm assuming when we run this comball out, it's probably just going to die. But you may just have to take that chance. Oh. Starscape Cleric. It's not totally what I want to see here, but here's the thing. If we play comball, then if they kill it, they're probably not doing anything else with their turn unless they have a 1/1, but they would have played that, so they would have had to just draw 1, right? So I say we play it. No real misconception that this is going to live, but next turn we can at least crack a clue and play a Strategic Betrayal. So if they just take their turn to, like, shelter here, that's actually pretty good for us. Since they are doing the life gain thing, that is a possibility. But yeah, this could just be shelter or no. And while we would take a big hit, and it sucks to take that hit when you have Pursuit out there also dinging you, it's not the worst thing. Alright. Whoa, the opponent does nothing? Oh, what was all that about? Ah, wow. Damn, I don't know what to do now. Like, I literally was... that's weird. They just did nothing on their turn. Are we just going to flash something in? Is that the plan? I guess I'm willing to test them here. Still nothing. Huh. Alright, I'll draw a card, I guess. I mean, we're not going to not attack, so... Sure. If you can kill Comball, I guess you do it now. So they just took an extra point and everything for no reason? Okay. Thoroughly confused by that turn. But, okay. I have zero rationale as to what happened there. So I guess let's draw first. Let's see if we find like a removal spell or something for that guy. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that works. That's a much better option. This is why sometimes the order you do things can really matter. And now I guess we gamble. I mean, it gets tough knowing they're playing in more instant speed removal, including Aang's Iceberg. So we just have to see what we can do here. Double Cleric. Yep. Our life total is not going to last very long at this rate. Whew. We really need to get this train down, but I also want to do this. Sack one of those. Get rid of this one. And I guess pass? Man, I really would have liked to have had a creature land here, because there's no way this combo is going to live. And we probably only have 2 turns, depending on what we draw. Yeah, see, now the opponent's like, well, I can just scry and let you have the combo back, because one just dies anyway. I think that's what they're thinking about with their Iceberg. Which, to be fair, isn't awful. If you're looking for a card, you know, there's no downside to removing the Iceberg right now, if you don't have a way to get rid of combo anyway. Which I guess the good side for us means they don't have enough play. Alright, so they're going to Water Bend. And then they scry 2. Giving us that back. I don't have anything cool when one of my creatures dies, so that doesn't benefit us at all. Man, where's our Tolls of War? That would have been sweet here to be able to block one of these 1/1s. Oh, no, because they don't fly. They're just allies. Alright. I guess this means they don't have an answer to Comball. Or they just have another Aang's Iceberg, possibly. Man, anything but a land would have been good here. Oof. That's tough. I mean, those at least offset, right? We lose a life, gain a life, whatever, so that's fine. And another land. Oh, that's brutal. I mean, opponent has something here. Alright, there's Teysa. We could play Teysa, Clue, and get us a Spirit, which could block. And this is whenever a Clue you control is put in the grave. So I have to do that with her on the battlefield. Alright, so I guess we just attack here. Because I assume they have another Iceberg or something? I mean, obviously, we'd love to have some life gain from Comball here, but don't know if that's going to happen. Oh, it does? Wow. Okay, well, that didn't go the way I wanted. Wait, why did it not... Oh, effects is 3 or greater. I needed to sack another thing. Well, I didn't have a real way to get what I wanted out of that then anyway. Okay. And then we can wait to make the token. We don't have to do it right now. Opponent did lose life, though, so I get a treasure. Treasure drains the opponent for 1. Or I say treasure, Clue. And they still have something. Maybe, I don't know what those stops were all about. They took a long time on their turn to think about what they want to do, and then they did nothing. Destroy all artifacts and enchantments? Sure, they will get some stuff back here. Oh, Tolls of War is actually pretty sweet. That is a nice pickup here. Yeah, I'll block that for sure. So this is almost like picking up right where we left off. And then we go ahead and make one here. An opponent is just at 9, by the way. So while we haven't, it doesn't look like we've done a lot, we've slowly set up things. So we go ahead and do this. Pass a turn. Opponent lost life there. So that's always nice. Alright, another cease and desist. Like, could be real. Guess we just crack a clue. Make us a 1/1 that triggers. Oh, there we go. Airship's nice. And I think we just block. No need to do much of anything else. All right, is there a sweeper coming of some kind? Split up, sure. What's the last card? Demon Wall. That works for us. Ooh, do I have enough mana for this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I could do both. Oh, I have enough to do everything. So I could airship, Comball, draw a card, which makes a token, and another Phantom Train. All right, and then sack the token to attack for 5. And they have to block, which are going to take some trample here anyway. Because if they don't, then the token we get, the treasure we get at the end of turn, or the token, I should say, would just kill them. So they go to 3. Not a bad setup. I mean, you attack, we block, and then, yeah, that's it. We're just going to attack with some flyers and call it a day. Sack the new train. Which dings the opponent. Make a map which dings the opponent. Oh, we don't even have to do all that. We got all this. Like, it's like all those removal spells I had didn't do much of anything. All right. This flies. Oh, they're going to die anyway from the token we make from the Lord Skidder. My goodness, we had so many ways to win here. I'm not going to lie, that was pretty sick, considering the opponent hit a cease and desist and a split up. And they got a lot with that. I mean, they got 2 creatures back. They got rid of our Obsessive Pursuits. They got rid of Comball and Teysa. And it was just like it didn't even matter. Like, that's pretty sick. You know, I will keep this. But I think we're going to have to search on turn 1 with this, so that we can make sure to play all of our spells on time. Because if we were to not draw a land, you know, we wouldn't be able to play Comball on 3 or whatever. Or 2 spells if we want to do something and sack something to the Reliquary. So, got to keep that stuff in mind. A Temple of Epiphany. Usually makes me feel like there's a control list behind that, but we'll see. Comball being a 2/4 does matter, though. That's a real number. Charming Scoundrel. Are we discarding anything? All right. And we didn't make the treasure, but we just discarded a Fable Passage. Interesting to know. I think I'm just going to do this and just say, hey, find a way to deal with the Comball. It's not worth using either of our removal here. And usually, if you're playing Charming Scoundrel, you want it for more than just the treasure options or whatever. There's stuff going on there. However, at this stage, I might try to get rid of it. So let's just do this first. Not a great use of this card, by the way, but kind of just forcing the opponent to do something here. All right, so they're playing dragons, but they... You're playing dragons, but you didn't go for treasure when you had the option? That's peculiar. All right. Because I would assume you would have got the treasure to make it easier to cast your dragons, but that's not what they did here. And we don't really know... Wow, okay. I am at a loss for what's happening. Genuinely. I kind of want to just play this, but now I want to do this just because it does equate to life loss from Comball. gets a creature out of the way, because if they do land Bonehorde Dracosaur, we want to be able to get rid of it with the Strategic Betrayal. Okay, yeah, it's fine. You got it. Not going to fight over that too much, especially when we know Dracosaur is on the thing. I guess I should have played Comball, the backup Comball there, actually. I skipped right through clicking the buttons, because this is not instant speed, so I definitely should have played the Comball there. Because now next turn's just going to be worse. Because I could be attacking for 3 after getting rid of something. There were just better options available there. I didn't take advantage of. Sometimes you got to slow down just a little bit. Got so hung up on, like, I'm going to get to kill a dragon. And then just, you know, forgot that magic's happening with other cards. But not completely punished here. Oh, actually I am. Because I would have drained the opponent for another one. Because this makes a 1/1. Yeah. So all around, that was just bad. But can't live in the past. Got to make the best of your situation. Alright. Yeah, of course, there's another one. Why wouldn't there be? Now, the fun part here is, if they make a token, we will also get a token. Yeah. We just packed it. We're not going to sacrifice anything here. But if the opponent wins at, like, 3, we'll know exactly where those 3 points came from. Alright, we drain them for 1, but we also get a 3/1 as part of the exchange there. Yeah, you probably want to just kill this combo. It's going to get very annoying for you if you don't. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So we'd love to find another Reliquary here, would be the ideal draw. Because then we could just play Phoenix Fleet, Airship, sack a thing, make 2 tokens. Then we'd be off to the races. But till then, we just kind of have to wait. Alright. They're just going to play the dragon straight up. Attack us for 5. Seems reasonable. See what we got. You don't really cross the boxes for what we want. But this gets interesting, because do we want to just have double airship? This is probably the most efficient use of our mana, so I guess we go with this. Alright. Creatures you control gain Firebending 5. And they're playing Deadly Cover-Up. Wow. Very interesting. Not sure what all that means. They're not playing the Chosen. Or the Comet. So yeah, we just take 5. Go down to 12. Yep, so you'll have Hasty Guys. So now we could die next turn to a variety of things here. So that is important. Okay, they have nothing in hand, so it'll be the next 3 cards, basically. Unless... Oh, and we find a Reliquary. Sweet. Love that for us. That makes life so much less scary. Let's get rid of one of these 1/1s, because they're not going to do much here, and we're going to replace it. So now we're just down to them top decking, because their creature land doesn't really matter here. And then we can full control. Going into the next step so that we can use this 1/1. That would be Summoning Sick. Let's target this. Choose up to 1. Alright. And then we will, while that's on the stack, crew with this. And resolve that one. And do I crew with the 1/1 and leave the 3/1 back? It feels correct. Yeah, this is probably fine. Alright. Now we let things just resolve. At 12, I feel okay here. I think this is fine. Like, I'm even attacking with the 1/1 here. I don't think I care that much. I mean, they're top decking. We're at 12. Like, they don't have great blocks here. They're still taking 5. We're going to get another airship. Feels pretty good. Yeah, I can't imagine this goes any way that's terrible for us. Yep. Yeah, the best thing for them that could have happened would have been maybe finding another sweeper, you know, because they were playing deadly cover-ups. And then it's just, can we find creatures to just start crewing the airships effectively? Okay, sure. Let's lead with this. I think anytime I don't have 3 untapped lands available, I'm almost always just going to play Fabled Passage on 1. Oh boy. When I play those, it means I'm probably playing Ugin. So we'll see if that holds true here or not. And these do not get rid of... Oh, they do get rid of Planeswalkers. Okay. So that's not so bad. Now we got to find some untapped lands. That's kind of the next step here. Blue, though. I don't think I've seen the blue variant. That's for certain. All right. What's going to be more important here? A Comball or a Tesa? I don't think they're making tokens. We could sacrifice it. I think we go with Tesa. If we get an untapped land, we could play Comball, sack a thing, still get the token from Tesa, attack. So, like, there's some options in there. What plays blue and UFO and Maze Mind Tome? It has to be a Ugin-related thing, right? I guess it doesn't have to be, but it would make sense. Sure. I guess we attempt it. Oh, we have to sacrifice a creature with that one. Oops. I don't want to do that, but all right. I think we may have to here. We might also just find another land in the process. Ooh, a reliquary. All right. Well, that sort of changes things. Let's go ahead and sacrifice creature. Probably tap, play a land, I would guess. Yep. Us not drawing a land here is pretty bad, though. We needed one of these to be a land, and they are not. So, you know, kind of a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news is we can get rid of Ugin, but we need to do other things along the way. Now, we can get rid of this that slows Ugin down for maybe another turn. So there's value there, for sure. And now we kind of are stuck holding on to this eaten alive. Because this only gets rid of creatures and artifacts. Though I guess if we were to find... This only triggers once a turn, though, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's dig anyway, because if it's a tapped land, we still want to draw it and get it onto the battlefield. Wow, no lands. That's a lot of cards. And we've not drawn a land since our opener. Whew. All right, well, we're attacking, I guess. Block. Oh, not even block. I thought they were going to block and put a land into play. They did not, though. I'm really curious what we're staring at right now. Because they only ramped once with the UFO. They didn't seem to... Oh, no, maybe they have counters. And that's what they're waiting on here. Could be bounce spells as well. I guess there's other outs for them. I think we're just going to Duskrose Reliquary, though. Because I can't imagine we're doing anything else here, right? And the land we get is tapped, of course. All right. Sack one of these. This is just, you know, keep our little machine going. Not a lot happening. Let's go ahead and do this. Make another clue. Play this. Go to attack. Did that so that we could just put the counters here. Yeah, I thought it was something like that. So I'm like, I'm not going to overcommit to the Teysa. Didn't really matter, but we had to do something there. All right, so this is literally just all defense to probably end with an Ugin. They might have 2 Ugins in hands for all we know. In all reality here. I could see that being a thing. What would you like to do? I think we're just going to crack these. Because we only have to crack 1 to get the lifelink on something. Oh, another Teysa. Dang. Well, that doesn't help us, does it? All right. Well, might as well do it now. Jeez. We've seen 1 land since we've started the game. This is so brutal. All right. I guess they don't have counters or whatever here. Or, I mean, bounce spells. That might have been, I guess their Aetherize was their only one. Gonna bounce our... Yeah, so they really are leaning on Ugin here. All right. So I assume this is going to be for their turn. Actually, what do we get rid of here? Train? I mean, we're nowhere near casting Liliana, right? We have too much stuff we're going to have to do over the next couple turns. If we get an untapped land, though, we could play Airship and sacrifice the thing, so I don't want to get rid of that. I guess the Train, just because of the way these turns need to play out. But I assume if you have Ugin here, you play it, get rid of something. I don't know what something is, whatever you choose, and then gain 3. Okay, yeah, that's easy peasy. Oh, actually, we don't have a creature to get rid of this. We might just have to pay 4. So I just realized we don't have a token maker. Actually, if we draw an untapped land, we can. Yeah, okay, that's the next best thing. It kind of still does what we want. Oh, no, it does not. Oh, actually, it does. This is weird. So we could play Tolls of War. Then we can play Reliquary to get rid of a thing that makes a token. We get rid of that. Then we play the Eaten Alive to get rid of Ugin. That is a weird chain of cards, but I am accepting it. All right, so we do this. Still no land, by the way. And we have effectively 3 turns to try to set up something productive. Otherwise, we just die to our own pursuits. Target that. Get rid of this. All right. And we know they have bounce spells. They probably have counters. So we're kind of in an ugly spot. Especially with no lands. Like, we're genuinely losing this game, because we just missed land drops. Like, that's the only reason we're losing here. All right. Well, we're not even losing, but the only reason we're in the situation that we're in. All right, there's a land. So here's what we need to do. Actually, I kind of need a calm ball to guarantee we get some life is the issue. Yeah, as much as I want to play Teysa, I think this is the way we have to go. And then if they do Ugin, just land Ugin, then they probably get rid of calm ball. We at least have a 1/1 that we could put some counters on, and then we can figure out what to do from there. This is an ugly game, man. Ugly. Backup combo's pretty good here, actually. But minimum, I'm assuming it's going to be land and an Ugin. Is my guess. Oh, well, Sire 7 deaths. Now we have a different problem. This thing doesn't trample, at least. Oh, it does trample. Yeah, all right. Then I guess we just lose to not drawing land. Yeah. I mean, we block to prevent one just so we get... Oh, we have to block with both. Yeah, all right. I'm just going to GG's. Like, we just didn't draw land, and that's why we lost. That's tough. But yeah, we had so many combinations of things that could have drained the opponent's life, could have made extra blockers, could have done whatever. We just were stuck at 3 for way too long. We'll keep this. You know, and of course, there's going to be people that say, well, the shuffler, blah, blah. Like, no, it's just randomness, man. Things happen. Like, genuinely, I've had worse things happen in paper, and I'm the shuffler. So don't even start that in the comments. I'm just going to, if you come at that in the comments, just assume that they're just going to get blocked or whatever. Like, sometimes you just got to accept that bad luck happens. All right, we need to draw removal spells. If we don't, I don't think we can win. Airbender Ascension. To bounce nothing? Alright. Doing Momo and Angel. Okay, that's a good one to have. So let's go ahead and do this so we can get to our interlopers. Token doesn't do much here. It's just taking up space. But let's go ahead and do this. Actually, what am I going to do next turn? Playing a Teysa and cracking that doesn't do anything, I don't think. Alright. Well, alright. We at least got through some of the land, I suppose. I only need 2 lands. Let's get rid of 1. And we already have ways to get lots of white, so we're not worried about that. Alright, there's an Overseer. That'll probably help you find a land you're looking for. Alright, we're down to 12. This is weird because I don't even think we play Teysa here. I think the game plan is just play Phantom Train. Actually, no. We'll play this because we might be able to make a blocker for a turn. And if it dies, it dies. Whatever. Like, what are we going to do otherwise? Overseer, sure. Okay. Actually, here's a fun thing. We can, if we block Momo, we can just call anything with power greater than 1. Granted, we take 5 here, which is more of a risk, but it does mean we get to keep all of our stuff effectively, which is not something that happens too often. So let's choose destroy all creatures with power greater than or equal to the chosen number. So let's call 2. And then we can still get in there. All right. Leah, yep. Play a Momo, sure. Yeah, so now if we can find a removal card for Momo, that's big, because... Oh, you get to blink your Halea. Yeah. Fair enough. Alright. She's back. Obsessive Pursuit. Yeah, now this becomes a real thing. If I do this... Crack it, make a token... We're at 7, they're at 21. Play this tapped. We get to make 2 dudes. All right. There's a kind of a few things going on here. All right, they're just going to take it, which makes sense because they kind of need the mana here. Do we find a reliquary? Nope, we didn't. Dang it. That could have been huge. Reliquary, I think, could have potentially ended the game there. Now we may have to just try to win with, like, infinite air fleet or something. Or airships. All right. Good news is, as long as we have airships, the multiple airships, the exemplar won't kill us. It just means we're going to take longer to win, unfortunately. Opponent? I mean, I'll just block here and take 2. Okay. Now there's not a good blink target. I mean, I guess you could reset Momo, so you can at least block with it. Wait, why would you blink that? Now it's just a 3/3. Okay, well, I'm not my brother's keeper. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so we can play Pursuits, do this, crack a thing, make a token. Yeah, things are happening now. We're going to be at low life, but it's fine. We can start attacking with our creature lands when the time comes. All right, and then these ground pounders aren't blocking anything, so whatever. They also have summoning sickness. We're going to go attacking. Put a counter on here so we get some life gain out of the deal. And then at this point, I don't think the opponent has a winning combination of any kind. Oh, again, we didn't have lifelink because we didn't have the requisite number of things. But it's fine just the same. I mean, I say that. They could go like shelter, shelter. Or actually, just a shelter, actually. Get rid of our 1/1. Oh, no, because we could still have the ships. Never mind. Yeah, they would technically need 3 removal spells here. Because whatever you target, we crew a ship. You target, we crew a ship. Okay, that's life gain. So that's real. I mean, you get the first strike. You're not dead yet. I would have to block with multiple airships to kill those. I would need 3 airships, because the first one, it has... Oh, wait. These gain lifelink, not first strike. Oh, I thought... For some reason, I was thinking in my head that Lyra also gave first strike. Well, in that case, let's just block up. Alright. Opponent does go to 10. They're technically at 15. Alright, we go to 3. Yep, alright, cool. But yeah, overall, this was actually pretty cool. I like the fact that we have answers to a lot of different things. We can play the long game against the sweepers and the control decks because we have creature lands, we have ways to draw cards, we have, you know, vehicles that can survive sweepers, so that's really cool. And against the aggro decks, you have just enough removal to hold on, right? Like the Duskro's Reliquary, the Eaten Alive. Like, these are very important cards for those matchups. So yeah, if you're wanting to get Teysa on the battlefield and even combo, like, yeah, why not? This could be the time for them to be played. And there's still a lot of ways you could flex this deck, right? There's a lot of cool cards you can play. So I don't even think this is potentially the final form, but it's really cool. But either way, link will be over on Moxfield if you want to have a go at it. Otherwise, it's all of you for now. We'll see you next time.